You know, this isn't what I thought my first video would ever actually be on. But here we are. And it is specifically ConnorDawg, CDawg VA, talking about eh, all the unwarranted hate being directed toward Ironmouse. But I don't know because Connor, someone I looked up to, Ironmouse, someone I look up to, even a lot of the people I look up to are people who can be considered really pretty humble in the space, like Markiplier in content creation, who just wants to keep pushing to do new things. And I think it's part of the reason why I look up to these people. It's because this, I mean, it's not specifically for Iron Mouse, it's not the creator who's directing hate towards him, it's just fans of the creator that are just upset because they don't see how someone like Iron Mouse behind a virtual avatar like I am now capable of beating uh, people who actually show their faces. But being behind an avatar is also grants some level of anonymity, especially for people who have to deal with, you know, very serious medical conditions like Mouse has to. But it still doesn't warrant all the things that were said about Mouse. But I think it's probably best. Like, honestly, for me, you probably will never actually hear me speak ill about people that I don't like. And the reason is because if I don't like someone, I'm not going to bother wasting my time talking about them. Now, people I do like, I'll spend all the time in the world just fawning over them for whatever reason. But other than that, yeah, I'm. It's this whole situation for Mouse that she has to deal with. All this hate is just absolutely unacceptable. But I, I mean, I'm just someone who's just starting out, who's also dealing with a lot of things, so I can't really expect a whole lot to be to come of what I have to say. But regardless, I'm still going to talk about what I want to, play what I want to, do what I want to, because at the end of the day, a lot of the people I look up to, all they want to do is just make content for people so they can be happy, so they don't have to worry about all all the little things that have gone wrong. But some people just, I guess, can't appreciate that or something. I don't know. Okay, here we are. This is the video that Connor posted about 12 hours ago talking about this. It, uh, I've already watched it, and oh, I mean, I can be a very emotional person for stuff like this, especially for people who have to deal with a lot of unfortunate circumstances. But, well, I'm definitely going to be stopping and pausing, probably talking about some things I think about and whatnot. But let's go. Oh, wrong thing.
This video is going to be a long-winded rant, and if you like that, welcome. Come join the Angry British Man. And if not, don't worry, my normal videos will resume after this one. I just had to talk about this. I feel like online lately, it has been a miserable experience for any of us to be online. And I actively feel that my mental health gets drained slowly using any online platform, especially my personal case, Twitter. I think Twitter.
I mean, that is fairly fair. Twitter is just. I mean, Twitter is definitely not a good place because a lot of the things you don't want to see just happen to seep in for absolutely whatever reason. I don't know why. I try to curate a little bit, but sometimes it just doesn't help.
Allowing people to make money from ads is probably one of the worst changes to any platform in history. Sure, I get $20 here and there for tweeting a funny picture of my giant monkey behind me, but there are those who use it to spread misinformation, lies, just make stuff up, spew absolute vile hatred stuff. It's pretty horrible experience to use it now, as Twitter seems to feel like it only wants outragement bait or tweets that'll make people angry. And if you're not seeing that, you're seeing somebody get killed. So it's really just a miserable experience overall.
I feel like Twitter's definitely a hit or miss quite a bit. I don't understand why, but yeah, I also happen to agree that being able to monetize just spreading misinformation for anybody really is just really stupid. It's just really stupid. But I I don't know. I think a lot of it they wanted to get more money from investors, so and more money coming in general, but it's just horrible. I don't understand why it has to be like that.
And don't get me started on TikTok and Instagram, which are famous for their brutal comments. And I wouldn't really even use the word brutal, because I think brutal can sometimes mean there's a bit of honesty and fun there, but I would say it's just cruel. Like, just being online right now is cruel. It feels like nobody has any respect for each other. But I don't think I've quite lost as much faith in the internet as I have until now. But look, I'll be honest. This video is about one thing. It's about the weird blanket hatred towards VTubers. I've seen a massive, massive hate train against Ironmouse, which I don't understand. And I know that.
I mean, as someone who's been in VTuber space in one form or another for a while, I mean, I will admit that I don't keep up on what everyone is saying and whatnot, but I definitely know there have been a lot of really bad, really bad hate. I can't even find the right word to describe it, but a lot of hate just directed at people for essentially being successful while still being anonymous, which I find is absolutely ludicrous, just for being absolutely upset over people who are making what they want to make, doing what they want to do, and making a living off of that, while also, let's say, helping someone who is not having a good day or just in general who wants some entertainment. But man, I'm generally not a very confrontational person, but man, I fail to understand how any hate on this level is justified.
That you guys aren't the ones doing this. You guys watching this video are very normal and well-adjusted people, and I appreciate that. But there are a lot of people online that seem to just have fun ruining other people's lives. I don't understand it. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I bringing all of this up? Well, don't worry, it'll all make sense. Just get along for the ride and listen to the weird British man rant at you. You see, in 2024, Ironmouse broke the all-time sub record on Twitch. It was a massive achievement. It was, I'm sure, an amazing and an inspiring moment for all of us, as well as Mouse. Unfortunately, probably what you didn't see was the deluge of vile comments, disturbing threats, and just overall hatred towards Mouse. And I'd love to tell you that this all started here and it's pretty much gone with now, but sadly this is a thing that has been going on for a very, very long time. And this is not just for Mouse. VTubers in general have had to deal with a lot of shit just for being an...
Yeah, I've read this post. I mean, I can understand about maybe 20% of this. Because I understand, like, any rabid fans of almost any medium, from sports to VTubing to even just content creators in general, they can be absolutely vicious. But man, I don't understand. Uh, let and one thing this Reddit post is failing to understand is a lot of VTubers are not corporate manufactured characters. They are just people doing what they want to because they can. Ugh, I don't understand this. Ugh.
An anime girl or boy on the internet. So let's go back in time a little bit so that we can better understand the full scope of this mess. Yes, you got me. This is a video about me defending my friend. 100%. I'm not even trying to hide that. But I also just want to bring a tiny bit of attention to the level of normalized hate that is just for some reason acceptable and hopefully.
I mean, defending your friend is very admirable, and it's what should be done. I, mm, if you know your friend is not is unjustifiably attacked because of an achievement they did, I, I've this whole thing just I just cannot find right ways to describe how I feel about this whole situation.
That, maybe this video can make a tiny bit of a change. Because what some of these creators have to endure is on a level that I've never seen before on the internet, and I've been here for a very long time. 4 years ago, VTubers had a massive explosion in popularity here in the West. Now, obviously, they've been around in Japan for a while, because this is very Japanese coded. But, 4 years ago, they blew up and people started getting into them. However, there was a lot of pushback from people like me included who were kind of like, what is this? I don't know what this is. But I like it, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, I gotta see. And I'm sure any VTuber who was around in this era could tell you the amount of hatred that was given out towards VTubers. Like, why are you using a voice changer? Are you a man?
Yeah, I mean, uh, yeah, with VTubers having exploded within the last 4 to 5 years, even before that, because was it didn't I know Ironmouse has been streaming a lot longer than she's had a VTuber avatar, but there's also been VTubers back in like 2017 who've been around for a long time. Like, even going back into what the late 2000s to early to mid 2010s, it was just a whole lot of just vile things said and edgy jokes, because at that point in time people were, well, maybe not concerned, maybe I don't know what the good word would be. It, either way, it was more people, I guess, more people being, trying to be abrasive, very caustic towards others, because at that point in time that was also a lot of what the early YouTube was. It was a lot of caustic personalities that broke out and found traction. But yeah, I, this whole thing is just so bad. I
Are you an AI, perhaps? Pretty uninspired, insulting comments. And during this boom is when a lot of people found Ironmouse as well. Now, Ironmouse had actually been streaming a long time before this as well, but it wasn't until this moment where a lot of VTubers were on Twitch and kind of getting great viewership. Now, obviously, VTubers choose to be represented by an avatar for a multitude of reasons, but for Mouse, it was for anonymity, which is why most VTubers do it. And now, look, I cannot talk for Mouse. Mouse is their own person, but, Mouse has been sick for a very long time with a multitude of illnesses, but the main one being primary immune deficiency. Primary immune deficiency is slightly different to autoimmune diseases that you might have heard about. Autoimmune diseases are where your immune system kind of attacks itself, whereas primary immune deficiency means that your immune system just doesn't work or doesn't work very well. And I'm sure a lot of my viewers are familiar with this because I'm always raising money for charities that want to find cures and support people with primary immune. I never get it right. Primary immune deficiencies. I mess it up all the time. When you have a really bad case of primary immune deficiency, it means that stuff like vaccines don't work on you. It means that you're worried about getting sick constantly from everything. Whereas maybe you and I could eat a bunch of dirt, maybe going even near dirt or someone who's slightly ill 20 feet away could easily get you sick or give you a bad case of pneumonia. This disease means that Mouse pretty much can't interact with anyone and can't leave her room. And even if she wanted to, Mouse was disabled for a very long time and has slowly started to regain the ability to walk thanks to being able to finally support premium healthcare. Yay, love America! So this meant the only human contact the Mouse got was pretty much.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I have my own medical issues I deal with. For those that don't know, more recently I've started dealing with seizures, and they're just seizures that just happen out of the blue. Like my first one was last year in October on the last day of a work contract, and I was heading home. And it just happened in the middle of me driving. Luckily, I wasn't hurt. There was no one else that got hurt. But because of that, I've been put on medication. I've had tests done. The neurologist and my doctor I talked to, they said everything looks fine, but I re, more recently I had a second seizure that happened back in June, but that happened while I was asleep. And I know that because from then I had woken up on the floor with my muscles absolutely just tired. Could barely lift my legs. And for those that don't know, one of the consequences of a seizure is you wet yourself. So I had accidentally wet the bed because of it, and another one is biting the tongue. So I had also bit my tongue because of that. But my problems are like mine are few and far between, while Mouse's are astronomically more severe and can happen more frequently and with very dire consequences because of it. I'm not saying mine can't, but I'm at least able to somewhat control mine, and they happen very in between. Like, I can't speak for anything of what other people are dealing with. All I have is my own experiences, but so far, all I can hope for is that they were just random, sporadic episodes. But Mouse has dealt with and will continue to deal with this for the rest of her life. And so trying to find cures is just so important, whether it be for primary immune deficiency, cancer, or in reality, just about any, even memory related issues, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. If we can find actual cures for all of that, then we'd be so much further along and we wouldn't have to worry about all of that as much.
Much talking to her parents or very close family who she was kind of already adjusted to, and family who understood about the disease and took precautions. And look, I know this is a lot of information, but what I'm trying to get at is that you can only imagine how crushingly lonely this must be. Imagine not being able to leave your room. Yes, we were all there during COVID, but we at least knew that it was probably going to end at some point. And I'm sure many of you knew, me included, that this was awful for our mental health. Not being able to see the people that you care about or interact with friends or just have a casual interaction with a cashier person is interactions that I'm sure all of us missed. And it was thanks to VTuber technology getting so much better and more accessible that Mouse was able to stream like me or like you or like any other big streamer. It was a level playing field. And on top of that, if you were a more artistically inclined person, you could show off your artistic skills by, I don't know, costume design or singing or lore or voice acting. There's so many more facets to it than me raging at Jump King. It's talent, okay? I'm one of the...
I mean, people will always find game rage hilarious. But yes, with with the VTubing and with other advancements related to the virtual space, there is so much more that you're able to do now than you likely used to be able to. Not saying that there's so much to consider. Like even just being hell, even just playing games with friends can lead to some insane moments where it just feels like a movie or a sitcom or some kind of media where it just happens completely unexpectedly and naturally, but it almost looks like it's scripted. And then even showing off your talents from singing, voice acting, your ability to do art, from video editing, writing. There's so much more that you can do through this through the virtual space now than there has been in years previous.
Best clips of Mouse's early career is when she's trying to raise money to get a new medical bed. Basically, normal beds, not good. They don't offer you support. They don't allow you to, like, go, like, lie upright. Basically, a lot more support. She asked her viewers if they'd be willing to donate towards that, and within minutes, they'd smash that goal.
I don't like to call my bed my bed. I don't like calling it my bed. It makes me feel very embarrassed. It makes me feel not so good. So I like to call my bed my workspace because that's where I am all the time. Fox, thank you so much for the penalty. God damn it! Val, what are you doing? Val, thank you so much for the dono. Thank you.
And I think a lot of people forget that Mouse didn't used to stream long. Mouse used to only stream for like an hour or two at a time, and then would go offline to take medication. But now feels
Oh, it's it is amazing what a community can come together to do for a person they look up to, a person they want to see succeed. There's so much to it. And oh,
feels comfortable enough to take the medication and still keep streaming, which I think is an amazing thing and something that the outpouring support has allowed us to do. And obviously VTubers do more than just talk and play crappy games like me. Some of them have god-tier singing skills. We all know that Mouse was training to be an opera singer and sounds incredible!
If you could look at me once more.
Combine that with aesthetically pleasing designs that are constantly changing, and it's no wonder that VTubers eventually had their boom. Now, obviously, Twitch and YouTube have always been very gamer-centric and gamer...
oh, oh, the I don't I'm pretty much at a loss for words. But man, I someone who's I've lived my life in a very rural area of Canada. So for me, it can't. I growing up, I didn't have as much readily available access to the internet or a good connection to the internet. I mean, hell, even what I have now wouldn't be considered the best, and it would be pretty expensive for what I currently have. But because of the advancements now, uh, there's so much more that can be done. Man, I want to do so many things. Like I've obviously I don't think I'll be able to sing like Mouse, be an opera singer or anything, but uh, I really I've really thought about maybe looking into more lessons for instruments. Like I think learning violin would be so much fun.
focused, and gamers aren't exactly known for being the most chill and reasonable people. Look, I was a Call of Duty kid. If I said the things that I said in those lobbies and they were recorded, I would not be here today. I would not have a career or any career. I was toxic, okay? Now look, I've been a content creator for 10 plus years online.
That is also fair. I mean, I was a COD kid growing up. At that point in time, I at least had an internet connection that was capable of connecting to online, but I was also someone who wasn't all that prone to throwing around all the quote-unquote gamer words because of my familial background. My family is very religious, so it was very much a lot of it was not being an absolute I'm just going to say jackass to people regardless of feelings, but yeah.
It's been my entire adult life. I've been doing this for so long that I'm a fossil in internet years. And even before that, I would pretty much only spend my time on the internet. And it was normal that as a creator that you would get some kind of hatred towards you, or some people who would just blindly write mean comments. It was part of the job. Doesn't mean it's a good part or that we should accept it, but it's just kind of how it was. And because every creator would get a bunch of hate comments here and there was kind of a mutual respect amongst creators that you wouldn't just blindly insult each other for no reason. You wouldn't insult someone you didn't know or you didn't have beef with. It was a thing that you could expect because that's how normal people behave. However, nowadays, it kind of feels like that's not the case anymore. It feels like it's kind of encouraged or okay to punch down and make fun of other creators that you don't like, or you think that something's weird about them. And this has happened a lot with VTubers. For example, in 2022, a massive TikTok creator, Noah Glenn Carter, made a video mocking the fact that people wanted to meet Mouse virtually. Here you go.
This might...
One thing people... I don't know. This is just one thing I will never understand, just absolutely ragging on people because they finally get to see someone that they've been watching for so long, regardless of whether they're a real person or a virtual avatar. They finally get to at least interact with them a little bit, maybe have a piece of merchandise signed or whatever, just saying thank you or just having a picture taken. There is one instance I can really think of. There's one creator I can think of, one of Markiplier's friends, a man named Wade Barnes or Lord Minion 777. He talked about how one fan he had met at a signing who had asked for him to sign her wrist so she could go get it tattooed so she could stop self-harming because of it. Like, people just don't seem to understand the type of impact that even just simple interactions with content creators can have when you finally get to meet them in person.
Be the saddest video on the internet. So I want you to take a look at all these people. They were all trying to get the attention of a monitor. Basically, that's a popular VTuber on the monitor that was virtually attending an anime convention. And this whole crowd of people were following the monitor in hopes that they could get a picture with it.
Now, obviously, you and I know that Mouse can't leave her room, and this is the only way that Mouse can walk around a convention or see any of her viewers, or any of those viewers can talk to Mouse. It's a rare experience for everyone involved, and an amazing feat of technology that we can even do anything like this. And to his credit, he did apologize.
This is an apology to a creator called Ironmouse because of this video. Now, in my video on this, I called the video one of the saddest videos on the internet, which is completely unnecessary on my part. And Ironmouse actually responded, clarifying that the people weren't even crowding her, but instead they were crowding somebody named Connor that was there. I'm really sorry to you, Ironmouse, if you're watching. My video was completely unnecessary. I really hope that my video didn't cause you any kind of negativity or anything. And again, I am so sorry if it did. I will be deleting that video as soon as I post this one.
First of all, ouch. Second of all, you didn't think there was going to be any negativity? What do you mean by that? And now look, to Noah's credit, he did apologize and take down the video. And I think that needs to be commended, as a lot of people don't have the common decency to do that anymore. But would you not have taken it down if nobody complained? If everyone joined in, haha, let's make fun of it. Would you not have taken it down? Or did you take it down just because people were like, hey man, you're kind of a dick? The reason why I show you this is not because
but yeah, we don't know if it's probable that if he hadn't been met with backlash from his video, he might not have taken it down. But he at least had the common sense to apologize, because of what he said was completely uncalled for and all that. But yeah, I know he's going to bring it up, but there's a quote from Mike Tyson saying about how people now are so used to hiding behind screens and keyboards and not facing consequences for what they say and whatnot, when they should.
I want to send any hatred. This is 2 years ago. It does not matter. It's over. Do not send hatred towards another creator. And if you do, you're a piece of shit and you should not be here. But why is it now that you can just dunk on something that you don't know anything about, you don't understand, and you didn't bother to research into? Why is that the norm now? Why is it that you just post first and research second? Oh, I got some hate about this. I'll take it down. Don't worry about the other 500 videos where I blindly made fun of people I don't understand. The sad truth now is that it seems like it's okay if you're a large creator to be a dick to anybody you want or don't like or don't agree with. You know, having a large audience is a huge responsibility. Whether we like it or not, we are influencers. We influence people with our opinions and what we say. I'm sure some people watching this video right now will be influenced by my opinion on all of this stuff. That's how it goes. But
he's not wrong. He is the influence for making this video. That is why. So yeah, people don't seem to understand why this is happening, or people just don't seem to want to learn why hate gets thrown out, when in reality it can very easily be the person who's just simply talking about it that can start it.
For some reason, it's okay now to blindly hate others and send rabid fans to go and attack people and stuff they don't understand. Why? It's hard enough just existing right now. It is horrible living in this year. It is a miserable time to be alive. Why are we making it harder for everyone? And if you're a VTuber, it is kind of just accepted now that you just get this level of blind hatred all the time. It's insane. Why is this okay? Anyway, moving on with the timeline. Since then, Mouse, and I assume most VTubers, have had to deal with insult after insult that is normalized. For Mouse personally, this level of hatred and vitriol escalated another level when Mouse was nominated for the Game Awards.
Yeah, for me, just starting out, and even before, like, I barely ever got anywhere, so I rarely ever seen anything rarely ever received anything hateful or mean. But even still, with any level of success, there are always going to be people who want to tear you down just because you did something that they couldn't. That's just unfortunately a reality that has to be lived through.
Now, the Game Awards have this category for Content Creator of the Year. Obviously, this year had a massive amount of very, very big creators that I'm sure we're all familiar with. But to the surprise of Mouse, and to most of us, Mouse got nominated. And this isn't saying that Mouse didn't deserve it. Mouse had an amazing year. Mouse had raised a ton of money for charity, had broken the all-time sub record for a woman on Twitch, and had done just some of the most amazing shit when you consider that Mouse is bedridden and has to have medication every single day that completely changes how any of this would be done, and providing
That is also true. And if I remember correctly, depending on what I think, a lot of Mouse's medications also make her more lethargic too. So just the simple fact that even under the influence of medications, she's still able to have so much, provide so much energy and entertainment despite it is just monumental.
Adding such an insane energy to every stream whilst battling a ton of medical issues that are permanent throughout Mouse's life. I think the nomination is deserved. And by some sheer miracle, Mouse had won the award. It was a crazy achievement and nobody expected Mouse to win, to be honest, because Mouse was by far the smallest creator out of the ones that were nominated.
And the game award goes to Ironmouse. So, Ironmouse couldn't be here tonight because Ironmouse is animated, and sadly, we're not in the Matrix yet.
Obviously, these creators were massive, and a lot of their fans that are watching the Game Awards were a bit upset about Mouse winning the award. This has led to a constant, and I cannot preface this enough, a constant stream of hatred now that
Yeah, and I imagine a lot of, probably quite a few of those fans are also someone who haven't ventured far either into just watching anime, reading manga, even light novels, or even into the VTuber space in general. They could very much just be the standard Saturday morning Western cartoons and whatnot. Like, don't get me wrong, with how far everything we've come, more Eastern style animations like anime and manga, and just about a lot of things from the more Eastern side of the world is making its way and permeating more into the everyday life of more Western culture. Like, probably one of the best examples for that would be Dragon Ball Z, or even the One Piece. Like, there's, unfortunately, you can't, with being in the digital age, we can't just avoid the things we don't like as much anymore. We can block it for as much as we want, but uh, we're still going to run into it from someone else that we barely know anything
Mouse had
about.
to deal with openly on all of her socials for years now. This is the level of hatred that is normally like, I just gotta show you. I gotta show you. It's like ridiculous. This is 2022. Back when Mouse's comments were pretty normal, I'd say. As you can see here, this is beating Kai. Okay, a little negative and unnecessary, but not that bad. This over Kai? Bro, who are you? You know, it's, and luckily at this point, not all the comments are like this, but they're by far the most liked ones. And it only gets worse the closer we get to today. You all came from that Kai video, right? This is #1 streamer. No way blood, this is #1 streamer. This is who gets #1 on Twitch. It's an evil world we live in. And you'd think, okay, maybe something happened at the time. This has been pretty much constant until now. Speed and Kai on top. How is the streamer of the year? How is the streamer of the year? This won the award, by the way. Oh, hell nah. This is who won. No cap, who's Ironmouse? Brain rot. This beats Cypher PK. Game Awards are wild. Why did you win? No way this won Creator of the Year. I'm crying. This literally goes on and on. And you'd think, okay, look.
Oh, that is just the perfect example of rabid fans being upset because the person they want just didn't win. They can't live with the fact that someone they never heard of that is behind a virtual avatar has managed to surpass their the person they look up to the most. But what also these people can't, or a lot of people can't seem to understand, that is, regardless of what they show on screen, they are still human behind the virtual avatar, behind whatever. So regardless, I mean, clearly at this point, Ironmouse has seen all that, and I'm sure it still affects her on some level, but she's been dealing with it for so long that she's able to just continue on, even if all these people are just upset.
It's because Mouse won the Streamer of the Year. It probably stops after that. Oh no! So many people are like, post this on Instagram Reels. Post this on Reels. Oh yeah, great, because love that. Love being toxic on Instagram. Bro, who are you? I'm begging you, please post this on Instagram. Why do people just want to be so cruel? What the f***? Just chill the f*** out, man. Who the f*** is watching this? This thing has the most subs on Twitch. How did you beat Kai? No human being on the planet wearing this. Okay, well, I wear it and it's f***ing fire. Okay, jeez. On my life, I've never in my entire life seen a single stream. Why do you care? Why? Like
if you've never seen a single stream, why bother trying to talk or leave a comment? Why bother with that? Like, I don't understand. If you've never seen a stream and don't care to, then why are you just going to leave a comment just because you're upset with them? Just forget about forget about that and move on and continue to enjoy the content that you want. Don't go and try to throw shade at other people for enjoying what they enjoy.
If I just haven't seen something, I just don't interact. I don't understand what has happened where we all feel the need to say our opinion and be like, yeah, guys, we hate this, right? Who cares? You're a loser. This has gone on for months. And it's pretty much just led to Mouse just not posting on TikTok, which I feel is really f***ed up. You can just successfully bully a massive creator off a platform. The reason why this all happened, by the way, is just because Mouse won an award. What? And this is just the stuff that Mouse gets on her own socials. This doesn't include the hatred that she receives from just existing in those posts from those low-tier bait Twitter accounts that post, can you believe this cartoon is beating Mars streamer, guys? And it only escalated once more when Ironmouse got the all-time sub record on Twitch, which led to a bunch of news articles tweeting about it and people talking about it. And unfortunately, a lot of people were just being blindly hateful. And of course, this level of hatred doesn't just stay on the platforms you'd expect it to. It's also in Mouse's chat. Here is a 85-page document of just some recent bans of people saying the most heinous shit.
Oh, man. Like, this whole thing just leaves me with actually not knowing what to say, just because of how unbelievably insufferable some people can be because of stuff like this, and then just going on throwing it at the people you don't like. It's like even in a Twitch stream like Ironmouse, you are never likely going to be seen, and you're likely going to be caught by a mod and banned. Like, yes, you'll have mods go through the ban messages, and I imagine Mouse will occasionally go through those messages as well and see those, but even still, they'll probably still affect her, but not to the point that they would probably hope it would. But there are so many positive voices drowning out the negativity that ultimately it's almost all for naught at this point.
Towards Mouse. Now, you're telling me this bitch-ass VTuber surpassed Kai Cenat? God, you know these people are so ugly. Just sad how Sims donate to this crap. This is the bitch that broke Kai's record. I refuse to believe any of you are real human beings. Unless you have less than 60 IQ, no one in this chat is real. I've been watching this shit for 10 minutes and I want to kill myself. How do people watch this shit, you weirdos? You'll never get on Kai's level. You guys know this is a fat guy, right? Amongst obviously all those insults, a lot of people saying that Mouse is lying about her illness, which, I mean, I don't have to tell you why that's wrong. Like, look at this. This is psychotic. This is f***ed up. How is this okay? And by the way, this is the list, obviously, that doesn't include the N-word bans, or that would be another 20 pages. Because of course it would be. Like if this was my chat, I just would not stream. I would just not show up. This is f***ed. 100%. I want to make this clear. I'm not blaming any creator. Obviously, we saw a lot of people name dropping Kai, saying how could this lose to Kai and all that stuff. This is not me blaming Kai in any capacity. I think his audience is at the size that is absolutely absurd. And at that level, You can try and tell your viewers, hey man, look, be respectful, which Kai has on numerous times. He's openly praised Ironmouse and been very supportive towards small creators.
Ironmouse has always been top 5 all time. She's somebody I had to pass during my first subathon. Now, I know people are defensive. I know a lot of people defend me and shit like that. But Chad, if you actually looked at her stream and actually kept up with what she's doing, you feel what I'm saying? Not only was it for a good cause, but it was pretty well put together.
But obviously, you know, as a creator, you do...
That is true. And, oh man, the amount of production value that just goes into Ironmouse just from even just commissioning a new model, I can imagine is just astronomical. Like, oh, there's so much I want to do, but I just simply don't have the financial resources to do it. Like, even, like, oh, like there's even another creator, Charlie Penguin Zero. He's also someone I look up to, and he, for the pretty much all the time, whenever he covers something from some creator or something, almost every time he always says to not go and spread hate, and if those people do, then they are simply not part of his community because that is not what he wants to foster.
Still have some influence over your viewers. And I think it's important to make sure that when you see this behavior in the community that you call it out. And I'm not entirely sure when this happened online, but it feels like it's okay to just blindly make fun or hate something you don't understand or have not learned anything about. But I guess that is more of a reflection of the current times we live in, because everyone seems to do that all the time. As a creator, I would be embarrassed if I saw my viewers blindly hating on someone else using my name. I would be mortified if I saw that. And the one good thing about all you guys is that I know that you don't do that. And I appreciate that because you're all cool and you're all normally well-adjusted people, I hope. And look, I'll admit, I don't have a point of this video. I don't have a plan. I was just going crazy looking at all of this open hatred and losing my mind, wondering why this is normal. That was literally it. And that's the reason why I'm making this video. And I kind of wanted to ask if anyone else or any other VTubers or any other even YouTubers, if you've experienced this same kind of level of blind hatred yourself. I would love to hear about it, just so that I know that I'm not going crazy. I hope we can have a civilized and good discussion in the comments. And so with that, I wish you all the best of luck. Don't let these urinal cake eating children distract you from what you want to do in life. Now I'm going to go drink a beer. Bye.
There we go. But yeah, for me right now, where I am, I essentially have nothing. So right now, I'm not seeing anything, or anything hateful, I should say. I am seeing a few positives because of the people I personally interact with. But also, I'm willing to bet if I ever manage to get to a certain size, I will start seeing all that. And I can guarantee if anyone, a future viewer, or even someone who currently just watches, I can guarantee that if someone goes out to spread hate specifically in my name, then they will be specifically ousted, because that is not the community I want to build. I don't want to be a bastion for just spreading unfounded hate for absolutely no reason. What I want to do is simply just entertain people, and if someone's having a bad day, even just making it a little bit better from what I'm doing, then I'll consider it a mission accomplished, along with other goals I want to pursue. But yeah, the I this is just a video that I really felt like I wanted to make, just because of everything that Connor laid out in that video, which I will leave a link to either in an end card somewhere on screen, and I'll leave a link down in the description to his original video. But yeah, it's just absolutely insane the amount of unnecessary hatred that just gets thrown around in the content creation sphere in general, of just because you see people you don't like succeeding. Oh, like more specifically, content creators who have who are just going about their business, doing what they want to. Oh, it's just a lot. But I guess until next time, we will see what happens. Have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.